Hey, what's up everybody? I am Justin Kenward and welcome back. Today we are going to talk about citizen journalism. What is citizen journalism? Well,
citizen journalism, the collection, dissemination, and analysis of news and information by the general public, especially by means of the internet.
Thanks, Google! So I would like to expand on that just a little bit. Citizen journalism is anybody in the public, just a normal person who has an interesting story to tell. Something that somebody else will listen to. It's kind of a blanket term, and it just basically means that yes, you can be a journalist. You don't have to just consume news, you can make it, you can create it. The easiest way to do that is with social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. In traditional journalism, you needed the proper tool. Be it a computer, or in the olden days, a typewriter. If you're a photographer, obviously cameras. In traditional journalism, not any camera would do. You would need an SLR camera, a pro camera. You would need something that gave you solid control over shutter speed and aperture. Most point and shoots don't provide that. And even now, in professional photojournalism, you still need that. However, as a social journalist, the tools are right in the palm of your hands. Your camera, your video recording, your note-taking, your typing, your publishing is all on your cell phone or your iPad or what other tablet you may use. It's right there. Those are the tools you need to get you started. They may not be the best quality all the time, but you know what? They're good enough to tell a story. That being said, there's a term called social media reporting. Basically, you're using Twitter, Facebook, whatever, to get your story out there. That is how you're publishing your story. Twitter is probably the most popular for news because it keeps you limited. It is really difficult to write a who, what, where, when, and why in 140 characters or less. But it also keeps you from going on too deeply. It gives you structure.
Question time!
How does citizen journalism mix with traditional journalism? That's a good question. Actually, there's a number of ways where traditional journalism and media are consuming citizens' reporting. Many news stations allow you to send in your stories, photographs, etc., and they'll publish it for you or air it for you after doing some background checks. You can also send your stories into a local newspaper, and sometimes they'll publish you and even pay you for it. There are lots of ways for local and mainstream media to ingest citizen journalism into traditional journalism. And I think because of the times we live in, it's a good idea for them to be looking at things like that, to look at things in a global perspective, not just in their little box. With citizen journalism, who is accountable for factual errors and mistakes? So this is a really good question. Accountability and a code of ethics are really important to journalism, newspaper and mainstream media journalism. They've got to have a code of ethics and accountability. Otherwise, they could be saying anything about anybody.
Barack Obama is an alien! Justin Bieber is a menace to society! Vaccines cause autism! One of these things is not like the other. One of these things is real. Yeah!
So one of the major drawbacks in citizen journalism is the fact that citizens are not held to the same high standard when it comes to news reporting as journalists. Not only can a reporter lose his job if he has too many factual errors, but it also leaves the news agency open for liability lawsuits. I think my biggest issue when it comes to citizen journalists is that they don't have a code of ethics, and I would like them to go out, research the subject, code of ethics, just give it a quick little Google search,
Codeofethics.com.
and set forth a standard, a code of ethics that they hold fast and true to. I'd also like to see them dedicate themselves to an AP style, and just to make sure that they have everything straight to their best of their ability before they go out posting all willy-nilly. That leads me into the next common question. How does law enforcement react to citizen journalists? In my experience, not very well. If you think it's hard for a professional journalist to get on scene, take pictures, and question people, imagine how hard it would be for somebody with a cell phone camera, no press pass or credentials, to walk onto the scene of a crime and start taking photos and ask questions. It's impossible. The only time it ever really works is when you're at a public event where you're allowed to walk around and interview people. Such as
Easter Sunday in the park, 4th of July barbecues, peace rallies, public protests, and tailgate parties.
some good example of places where citizen journalists can't gain easy access are
Mass murder scenes, cult suicides, no fun, the president's bathroom, waterboarding session at Guantanamo Bay.
There's a legal guideline that I like to keep in the back of my head for when I'm out taking photographs and doing interviews. Reasonable expectation of privacy. Basically, it means if you're ever out reporting and taking photos and you're in a place where you might have reasonable expectation of privacy, such as a bathroom, a backyard, inside a living room, inside of an office, etc., 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 don't shoot that photo. Don't take that audio recording. Don't shoot that video. You're just going to get yourself in a lot of trouble, and this is a good guideline to follow. This one should, I think, be on your list of number 1 rules. Code of ethics. Reasonable expectation of privacy. I once heard somebody say that journalists are the midwives to history. With the technology we have an astounding ability to document moments that would otherwise be lost to time. Save memories and events that otherwise would never be seen by the generations to come. I feel like as journalists, either professional or citizen, it's our responsibility to handle this stuff with a code of ethics, to treat it like treasure and gold, and to never forget that journalism is a tool, not a weapon. It's something we use to tell the story and remember the past. So, pick up your cell phones, pick up your cameras, your notepads, go to Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and post all that stuff. Share it for the world. Let it live on the internet. Because if it's living, if it becomes part of a entity that never dies, such as the internet, it'll always be there for future generations. They can live and learn and grow stronger because of what we do today, because of what you do today. Never let journalism die. Never stifle it. Never keep it from reaching its full potential. You go out there. You be the journalist. You be the reporter. You make history. This is Justin Kenward, signing off.
Tonight with Mr. Doe. Hey, sexy. Ooh, head rush. Something good giving. However, as a social medium,